Look at all this space. Rusty Homebrew's back. Moved house, didn't I? Moved house 14 months ago. As you can see, my hair's gone grey because I became a father about 9 months ago. It's very life-changing, and I'm now officially an adult. I think it's fair to say. Officially there, finally there. I'm 40 now. Believe it or not, I am 40. The hair is proof. And I'm dad. Cheers. This is the coconut shy. Look how clear that is. 4.5%. Initially really did taste of coconut. Maybe too much though, it was too sweet. Now that's mellowed a bit. And it's a nice balanced beer now. Initially it was a bit too sweet, I think. I was going to do a nice big long brew day. Show you my G40, which I've had for a while now. I was one of the first. Sound like a right dick there, I was one of the first. But I pre-ordered it, and I got it day one. And I've had quite a few brews on it now, to be honest. Just haven't had any chance to do that. The only reason I'm doing this now is because her and baby, they've gone off to Poland for maybe 2 months. She's still on maternity leave. So I'm home alone. I've been home alone now I'm on day 6. And I was really looking forward to being home alone and having all this free time. And then I realised it's not that great. I'm actually a bit bored, really bored actually, because it's been a really hectic 9 months. And then all of a sudden, it's just got nothing to do. But I've bought a new camera, which I bought off eBay. It's a really nice camera. It's got good autofocus apparently. Yeah, you see that? That is awesome. And I think there's an issue with the microphone output thingy, and I spent a good hour on that earlier, just trying to get that to work. Oh, another thing, another update, as I'm now a member of a homebrew club. Reading Amateur Brewers. I've moved closer to Reading. And you may know Brew Boy Calaby. Of course you fucking know Brew Boy Calaby. He only lives down the road. So me and him, we've gone 3 times now. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So hello, if any amateur Reading people watching. Don't think anyone does. I haven't actually taken any beers in yet, which is weird because I kind of want to and I kind of don't want to, because I'm not really making beers to impress anyone or share with anyone. I'm just experimenting a lot like we all do, or I'm drinking beers that I just want to drink, which are usually bitters, which is quite boring if you go to a place like, oh, try my bitter. Plus the bitter only tastes good. Another new addition on the hand pull. Let's be honest, bitters, okay, bottle conditioned bitters are okay, but bitters from the kegerator, they're not very good, are they? They're only good on the hand pull. So yeah, I've been spending a lot of money since you last seen me. Unfortunately my grandpa, he was 95, so it's okay, but he might have made it to 100. That's what annoys me. COVID took him, and he left us all a little bit of money, not much, but it was enough for me to spend in here. So I've upgraded since you last seen me. I've got a Grainfather G40. What else have I been buying? I've got a Kegerator Series X, which is fucking great. 4 taps, which is really cool. So I've now got 4 kegs in there, and then I've got 1 external keg on the hand pull, which is another new addition, which I love. But my biggest upgrade from everything that I've ever bought in homebrewing, and I know other people have been saying this for a few years and I've been listening but not actually been paying attention, is pressure fermentation. Seriously, if you've not got into it yet, just sell whatever equipment you have, sell it and buy a FermZilla. Seriously, it doesn't matter how shiny and stainless steel it is, all you need is that FermZilla and your beer, I promise you, will improve. The problem with the Firmzilla is they don't fit in it, unless you've got one of those big larder fridges, they don't fit in anything. Unless you do a bit of jiggery pokery and tilt it and everything else. So I ended up buying the Firminator, which I also highly recommend. It regulates the temp really well, it's brilliant, but there is one flaw with it, and that's it's made of polystyrene. So I don't know how long it's going to last. Like every time you take it apart, a little bit chips off here and there, and you see a little bit of polystyrene on the floor, and you're like, oh no. So I am thinking maybe I was thinking, I don't know what to do, to be honest. I don't know. I'm going to try and reinforce it, maybe just put tape on it. But it's actually brilliant though, it's really good. It's just not that. It's not a 10 out of 10, it's an 8.5. Now this stout, can you see it properly? Lovely head, absolutely beautiful head, which you can't see. This stout is really nice. It's basically the Bible recipe that I've tinkered with a little bit. It's actually really nice, and there's nothing wrong with it at all. But I did give it. I sold my grandfather, so I've been going to the Reading Brewers Club, Homebrew Club, and I met a guy there who lives literally 15-minute walk away. So I've now got two friends, two local homebrew friends. Matt Calaby, you're the other one. Which is really great because I've never had a local homebrew friend before. It's always just been you guys on YouTube or Facebook. And now knowing people locally and going to these meetups and seeing other homebrewers, it blows my mind that there's other people out there brewing, because in my head it was quite a niche little hobby. But there's loads of us, we don't realise how many people are out there. And I sold my G30 grandfather to him. I gave him a good price. I could have sold it for a lot more, but I just thought he was telling me about him brewing in a whatever it was, and I just thought I'd just let him have it for a good price, because it was convenient for me just to give it to him, and he only lives down the road. So I just drove to his house and I dropped it off for him. I spent like 45 minutes just showing him how to use it. I introduced him to Brewfather as well. So it's quite nice that you know, I've passed it on to someone that I know, and he's getting good use. I think he's made 3 or 4 brews already, and so that's pretty cool. But then the first brew he did was this, and he messed it up a little bit. So instead, because I used the Irish Ale liquid yeast, and he used, I think he said 002. And I don't know what he did wrong, but something went wrong with his fermentation. And whereas mine is 4.2%, I think his is 2.7% because the final gravity was way too high. And then he hasn't got into kegging yet, so he bottle conditions. And he brought it to the Homebrew Club, and he renamed it. It's now a dark mild because it's only 2.7%. And I had a sip. And everyone had a sip of it, and people were saying, that's a nice vanilla aroma coming off that. And I'm like, mine doesn't have that. Why doesn't mine have that? It's exactly the same bloody recipe, different yeast. And he's got a vanilla flavour, and it was a lot sweeter. I guess that's because the FG was higher. And it... I don't know, mine yet. Is his better? That's what annoys me. No, it's not better, but it's different and it's nice. And I am thinking, should we really be putting CO2 into a stout? I have actually got nitro, but I've been told by people who use nitro that it isn't all that. It's overrated. So what I might do next year, because I was thinking about adapting this recipe and making it a little bit less roasty, but what I think I'm going to do next year, because I like to brew an Irish stout every year when I can for Paddy's Day, because, you know, since Brexit I'm Irish. I won't get into that, but yeah, I had to get an EU passport because she's from Poland, and you know, just keeping our options open for the future and all that. So I'm Irish now. I have been now for like 2017, but I've never been there. I've been to North loads of times when I was a kid, because that's where my family are from, Donaghadee, if anyone's from there. If anyone is from there and they look something like this, the chances are very high that we're related, because my roots are there, and my grandpa, I think he was one of, I can't remember now, I think he's one of 8 or one of 9. So there's a lot of people probably in Northern Ireland who look like me. I'm sure there is. I'm sure we're related somewhere. So I do have roots there in the north, but I've never actually been to the Republic, so I really have to go. I really have to go there. But every year, to make up for it, I make a stout. What? I know, it doesn't make any sense, but that's my logic. I'm going to use priming sugar in the keg, not too much, and condition it for a month. I've never actually done that before, but I definitely prefer the taste of bottle conditioned beers, which is really annoying. Now, let's get on to the next beer. So the next beer, this is where I'm going to show off some equipment now. So here we've got the Ferminator. It does actually regulate the temp really well, but as you can see there, it's currently at 3.4 because I've turned it off because it's really cold in here because of that. Let me just take this apart and I'll pour you a beer. So here we have the greatest thing that you can buy as a home brewer, in my opinion, and I know other people have said this. I know I'm not the first to say it. People have been saying this for years. I've been listening, I've been acknowledging, but I haven't been doing it. And this really is the best thing you can do as a home brewer, in my opinion, and everyone's opinion who's got one. So we are at whatever, bar 10. And you know, it's ready to drink. This is a Pilsner, by the way. It doesn't look like it, but I can't do this with one hand, so bear with me. How clear is that? So this is my first ever. Technically it's not, because in the past I've brewed a Marsden, which is kind of a lager, and I've brewed a Saison, which isn't a lager, is it? But this is my, let's just say this is my first ever attempt at lagering, and it's a Pilsner. And I know, Dr. Hans, that you can use this thing here and whack it up to 30 degrees and put the pressure on way high and do it in 4 days and all that shit. But I thought I'm going to do it proper temps, as you would, and I'm going to leave it for a while. So that's now, I think it's 18 days or 19 days or something like that. It's been at around 2 degrees. So I think I started at 10, 11 for 2 weeks, and then I raised it up to 15 just to get rid of diacetyl. I don't know why, because I like diacetyl. But I thought I'd do it anyway, diacetyl rest, and then I lowered it down to 2, and it's been like that for about a week. I'm going to keg it when I get around to it. I think I was going to brew today, but I can't bother now, so I think I'm going to brew tomorrow and keg this today. But the great thing about these Fermentzilla things is you can just do that and pour yourself a carbonated, look at that, that is carbonated. That is carbonated, it's a carbonated beer. And it's all ready to go, and you don't need a keg. If you don't have any space for a kegerator, a keezer, anything, what I recommend is just do that. If you don't brew that often, buy a Firmzilla, a way of keeping it cold. So maybe buy a ferminator. Buy a Ferminator or a larder fridge and a Firmzilla, and you don't need to keg, just that's all you need, and you can just pour beer perfectly carved. It's actually better carved than if you had a keg system, in my opinion, because it's naturally carved. That is my first attempt at the Pilsner. It's my own recipe. That's what makes me really happy about this one. Completely my own recipe. Okay, the grain bill was slightly copied from the Southern Jesse, because I was going to brew that, and then I thought, nah, I've got loads of SARS and stuff, so I want to use it up. So I kind of did use the same, I think it's floor malted, the expensive stuff, whatever you call it, Weyermann's floor malted malt and Carapils, I think it is. So I slightly copied him there, and then the hop schedule is completely made up by me. I think it was SARS and Hallertau. Shit, I can't remember now. One of the Hallertaus. Anyway. And it is... I don't know what to say about it. It's the best lager I've ever had in my life. And that sounds like a right twatty thing to say. And I'm scared of kegging it. I'm scared of transferring it over in case I ruin it. And that's why my next brew, I've got another fermenter sitting underneath you, my old fermentation fridge, which unfortunately I have to use the auto siphon. And my next brew day, I'm gonna, so I was thinking maybe I want to keep it in there. I don't know. And I know you can do the closed transfer, and that's what I'm gonna do. But there's just a part of me thinking I'm gonna fuck this beer up by doing that. And for those of you who do the closed transfer, please explain to me how you do it properly, because for me it takes like an hour. And it's just so slow. What am I doing wrong? Why does it take an hour to get from Firmzilla into the keg? It takes forever. What am I doing wrong now? I'm doing something wrong, but I don't know. I've watched many of your YouTube videos and I can't figure out why it's taking so long. Maybe they all take that long. It's just no one tells you this. This is so boring, this video. Why are you watching this shit? I don't know. But anyway, Rusty's back. Hey. I think I'm gonna start making proper videos, like cut, edit and all that, because I've been watching TikTok and it's like this, and I like that. I really like that. To the point now where I can't focus on a movie or a TV series even. If it's quite a long episode, I can't focus. My attention span, because of TikTok, is like that. So how anyone can watch this shit, I don't know. I would have turned off ages ago. Is this good content? I love Dr. Hands. But he puts effort into his videos. He puts thought into it. He doesn't just do what me and John Anderson and some others do, switch it on and talk. He makes an effort, and I appreciate his effort, and he is great. He's got a very sexy apron, which I need to get one. I really need to get one. I remember why I used to do this now. It's yeah, it's quite therapeutic, chatting to a camera. I don't know why. It's really hard to explain. I know a few of you who do the YouTube videos will know exactly what I mean. So another new addition that I've got. The NukaTap counter pressure kit bottle filler, which I think was only 26 quid from AliExpress, plus all the other shit they add to it. And okay, I've not used an iTap. I was hesitant about it because I wasted 100 quid on the Blickman beer gun, which so many people were saying, oh, it's amazing, Blickman beer gun, yeah. And I fell for that shit, and I bought one and I used it once and I hated it. It was the foamiest, shittest thing. What was I talking about? Oh, the iTap, okay. And then I was almost gonna buy one. I almost caved in, and then this whole Russia thing happened. I found out they were Russian, I was like, ah, fuck you. I'm sure the guys that make it are really nice and they got nothing to do with any of that shit. I've now gone metric for everything, the gas lines, beer lines. I've just gone pure kegland. I've got rid of all this shit, the 5/16ths and whatever we call it over here, which no one understands. It's so much easier to understand. It's just, I can't remember what it is now. It's like 8mm or something. It's just, millimeters make so much more sense to me. And that's not a youth thing. I'm 40 and I grew up with metric. It's not a youth thing. That metric is just so much fucking easier. I don't understand why the other system exists. They should just completely get rid of it. Long old video in it. Now I'm resting like Harry Maguire. But I need to end this video at some point, so as John Anderson always says, if you've got this far, and I do get that far every video, John, but if you have got this far, thank you very much. I'm gonna make you a proper video tomorrow, I think. You won't see it for a while because I'm gonna do a grain to glass proper video for Drunkula, because he always moans that I, doesn't always moan, but he always makes a comment that he prefers it when people do grain to glasses. So I'll do that just for Drunkula. Drunkula, where the fuck are you? Come back, please. Come back. I don't know where you are. Come back. The Twitch thing, I would love to get back into it. I've not switched on. I've not done any gaming since like January 2021. Is that right? Yeah, so it's not had a chance. But anyway, take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.